some announcements I've just posted and things. So obviously we've got the site awards that we went through at the start of the meeting. The July issue of the Joomla community magazine came out yesterday, and it's possibly got the highest number of Australian contributions that the magazine's seen in a very long time. Admittedly, 4 of them are mine, but Robert Fairhead's also contributed. Robert, did you want to, if you're still there, did you want to say something about your contribution and your contribution experience to recruit some others? Or no, he may not be, and that's why he's headed off already. So, Robert, I coerced into submitting an article from one of his blog posts so that we could try and improve the onboarding process for new authors. There's still a bit of work to be done there, but it's fairly straightforward. So if you've got something that you'd like to contribute to the Joomla Community Magazine, the deadline each month is the 15th of the month, and it comes out on the 20th of the month. And yeah, it's not that they'll take anything, they've just taken my contributions willy-nilly, it seems. But there's certainly a number of tasks that need to be done. One of the ones that I've contributed this month is actually a translation of a Spanish article that's been the long-term best performing evergreen article on the magazine site for a couple of years now. So even though it was published 6 years ago, that particular post on writing a proposal as a freelancer still gets 3,000 hits a month. And even the new articles that come out only end up with about 1,500 to 2,000 hits in a month at the moment. So they've repopulated that one, and hopefully we'll be able to find more articles to convert going forward. In October, Stuart, I might put you up for this one. So in October, the Pizza Bugs and Fun event is going to be scheduled again on October 17. Stuart, can you explain what you guys did in Brisbane last year? And then we're looking at doing something in Australia again this year with it.
Yeah, well, last year we had quite a contingent here in Brisbane at the office, and we focused on documentation and some testing of patches. It was our first time, so we were a bit unfamiliar with how the whole process worked, but I think this next year we will have a better idea of what needs to be done before the event to get everybody up and ready to go. We'll definitely be having an in-premise version, so I'm not sure what will happen around the rest of the country, but we'll be definitely here at the office again. So it was a good day. We had a bit of community spirit going on, and we patched a few. Did a few patch tests and kept a bit of a scorecard, so it was a bit of a fun event actually, sort of for the day. So
I've got to say I quite enjoyed the event that Stuart hosted last year, because it gave me a chance to write into the documentation any of the things that I wasn't quite happy with. There have been some tutorials and some code that were not quite perfect, or in fact were misleading, and up to that point I was just leaving comments and on Joomla Stack Exchange, you're saying, oh, don't follow the advice here, do this. So in fact, I was able to get in for the first time and actually make a difference permanently. So it was good.
And that's the main sort of thrust of it, is to try and get a large number of people participating in fixing code and writing documentation in one place at one time, or in several dozen places at one time on the 17th of October. They've been trying during sort of the global lockdown due to COVID, having a similar program where it's bugs and fun at home. And I've been hosting the meet room as such most weekends for the last 3 months, which has got a bit, it gets a bit lonely at times. So if anyone is looking for something to do on a Saturday afternoon from 4 till 10. That's when the meet that I run kicks in. The UK guys come on for a little bit during that period of time, but I've, in the process of managing that, have met key people from around the world for Joomla, a lot of Europeans, and then on other days when I've picked up, if we start early enough in the afternoon, basically we pick up the US people on Friday night if we were to start the room at 9 o'clock in the morning Australian time, but there's not been too many takers over their summer because they're all out living.
Catching COVID, yeah.
Yeah, and I've forgotten what being outdoors is like, and it's, and I'm sure you know that is, the reason so many Victorians came to the conference last year was it was the start of August and it was still freezing down here, so
Yep.
all worked out there. So hopefully, come and chat anything Joomla, and I can show you sort of how to patch test. I can show you how to fix a problem, how to document stuff, and grow it from there. So and you might meet some other Joomla users from around the world if they all tune in. We're going to do a bit of a plug earlier than Friday afternoon, which is what we've tended to do lately in the various programs. So what else was there?
Hey Patrick, I was wondering, there's a lady from Melbourne who's a Joomla user, a long-time Joomla user, and I've never seen her. Do you know who Leanne Seawright is?
No, not off the top of my head.
Not on your radar? Okay. All right. I didn't know if there was a reason she wasn't joining us.
She's not a name that rings a bell, so
okay.
I don't know if she's even been to, next time talking to her, see if she's in the Joomla user group in Melbourne.
Yeah.
As I was saying at the start of the night, we've got combined between Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane, there's over 900 people on Meetup. When we did, we trialled Pro at the start of the year, and that wasn't that effective, and you had to get everybody to get the email addresses out, and that wasn't a viable alternative there. So, but what we found when we analysed that, there's actually about 60 people that are across all three, which sort of drops the numbers down. But the other thing that we've got to do a bit more homework on is that the mailing list on the joomla.org.au site has 2,300 subscribers at the moment. So it's all the forum users and other people that have crossed paths at conferences and things over the years. So if we can reach those 2,300 people and find out that a lot are actually still Joomla users, then we might find that we get a bit busier in here and for the conferences going forward. So that's in amongst the homework for the next couple of weeks. So all right. So I'm happy to leave everyone else to chat.
I've got one thing I just wanted to bring up. Anybody who's looking for a replacement shirt, some 90 size 10s, and some 2XL Joomla shirts, they may as well be being out in the community and being worn. And even I've got a couple of leftover blue 2XL ones from 2015. All you people who are shut up in Melbourne might be interested in something like that. Just message me and I'll see if we've got the sizes and you can have them for the cost of an envelope, getting them to you.
Okay.
Are they long sleeve?
T-shirts. They're good.
Have you got any L's?
I don't think I could fill out a double X.
I'm not sure. I think there's only 2XLs in the reds and some XLs in the blue. But just message me.
Are they a cozy fit?
Message me because they're taking up space in my office. So.
Patrick wears a SM.
Yeah,
small marquee.
Oh, that's nice.
Yikes.
That's lovely.
These are the things that I have to deal with.
The shade.
Russell, you might be interested in an extension being built currently for the U theme itself for Joomla, in particular called Pro2 Store, which is an e-commerce extension being built for it at the moment to work.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet, or?
I haven't. Look, I got 3 Virtumate sites left, but they're all pretty stable, and I've really decided that e-commerce has become it's an area that's really getting a little bit unstable. I think I'm not sure about Pro2 Store, but I probably, if I was looking for new e-commerce solutions, that one would be on the list.
Yeah,
if I can put it like that.
Well, yeah, it's still in development. Like they expect to have the first release at the end of August, but they've got a little walkthrough of where it's at the moment, a video that's it shows great, for me, it showed great promise, because I always find myself very nervous about the whole idea of e-commerce, and this looked, for me, because I'm comfortable with the new theme, for me it looked like it's something I could quite comfortably work with.
All right, I'll check it out.
So
I'll have a look at it.
yeah.
Pro2 Store, okay. Thank you, Matthew.
No worries.
Thank you. I might need to move some of these Virtumate guys in the reasonably near future. It's still holding up. The product's still holding up, but I have had a fair bit of trouble with it over the last year and a half. So, yeah, it might be time for alternatives. You're right about that.
Yeah, well, I think it may take some time for it, considering that the first release is not out yet. But the way it's been developed, it looks really simple and easy, utilising custom fields, built, and it's been based on I think creating elements to work within the builder itself. Yeah. And people have asked, you're going to build this for WordPress? And he said, never, because they've got WooCommerce and you don't need it, and therefore this is purely for the Joomla users. So
yeah. Okay, well, thank you, Matthew. I will look at that for sure.
Jenny, what was the question you were asking for clarification?
I think Jenny's gone.
No.
No, she's there. I just muted her and unmuted her.
Sorry, I'm thinking I've got 2 laptops here and I was using the wrong mouse trying to get it here. You were talking about your, go back. You were talking about the coding on a Saturday afternoon. Where do you get
yeah, so if you scroll back up through the chat, I've dumped a big message of announcements, and it's the Bugs and Fun at Home program.
Okay, I'll look through that.
Yeah, so I'll post the link to the Google Meet probably Thursday or Friday, but that page will kick in straight away on that. It's a Joomla documentation page on there. So yeah.
Yeah, you can't click on the link in the chat. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'll shoot you a message through one of the other.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll post all these on the forum somewhere, I think. So, yeah.
And I'll just shoot you my email as well.
Yeah.
Just putting it in the chat now. If you want it, it's there.
Cool. I forgot to ask you, Jenny, how'd your husband go with his tool site at the moment, or is that still...
it's still on hold at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured that might be why I hadn't heard from you yet.
Yeah. Yeah. We had to move venues, so that was lots and lots of work.
Yeah.
Got a smash and grab in the middle of the move, and then COVID hit. So there's a lot of things that are just on hold at the moment.
Yeah, no, that's all right. well, it's not all right, but it's that's understandable. Yeah. Cool. All right. I've forgotten the last thing I was going to say, but that's all right. Oh, Terry, are you still there?
Yep.
Yeah. So, do you want to run through sort of what your lunchtime learning idea is?
Yeah,
An audience?
drop me in it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just the idea was just people rather than sort of spending their evening, spending an hour or two, just come up with little short topics that, and sort of just ad hoc when people want to have something they want to discuss or need a second opinion on something. Yeah, so the idea is just to hold them during working hours or lunchtime where you might have 20 minutes, half an hour to spare. And yeah, we'll just pick a few topics and people can come and go depending on what they're interested in or if they've got something to contribute. My little pet subject at the moment is Git and trying to learn a bit more about it. And yeah, there's a couple of other ones, probably GitHub will turn up there, but yeah, just, I don't know, just something a little bit shorter and a bit more ad hoc than, yeah, spending a couple of hours in the evening.
Yeah.
Maybe do it a bit more often. That's
Cool.
about it.
All right. So if you're on Slack, we'll put some notes in there. But if you're not on Slack, just send us a message through the Joomla AU meetup, and we'll probably send out meeting notifications there through the Joomla AU meetup as a source, so that people can be easily reached if you're following that particular channel. And then see what else we can do. There's a lot of interest from around the world in doing ad hoc sessions on various things. So where I hear about those and they're at times of the day that are semi-human, I'll let people know. I actually woke up at 3 a.m. 2 weeks ago to join the mid-year meeting for Joomla, or for Open Source Matters, which was basically sort of the State of the Union type address from the President and Secretary and things like that. So if anyone is contemplating joining Joomla at the political management administration level, there are positions available at the moment for the Vice President, Treasurer, and 3 of the department coordinators. So that, I think, closes sometime in early August, and the elections then are announced at the end of September. So, yeah, the conversations I've been having with people around the world is that perhaps they're positions that aren't necessarily ones to go for at the moment. There's a bit of hostility, it seems, in the top level community. I'm looking at what to do over the years and starting sort of more on a 5-year plan, let a few people sort it out before I get there and go from there. But if anyone's interested, yeah, I can help introduce you to powers that be. So, yeah. All right, I think I've covered everything. So if anyone's got any other questions or want to stick around for the chit chat, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, thanks for joining us.
I guess I just want to say again out loud, in case anybody didn't see my link from right at the beginning of the start of this meetup, is that I've created an avenue for people to advertise Joomla-specific things on Joomla Stack Exchange Meta. If you haven't seen that yet, or if you're not familiar, Patrick has already planted a couple of images, and it's really simple to do. The guidelines are right on the page, explaining what's required. But effectively, if you are someone who is, if you're a Joomla extension developer, or if you're running any events, or if you provide any product or service that caters to Joomla users, there's actually a free place where you can advertise. At the moment, it's not, the feature isn't fully implemented because Joomla Stack Exchange is still in beta. It doesn't have all the privileges that it will have eventually. I'm campaigning for this feature to be rolled out for us, even though we're still in beta, because it will help me to grow the community. But this could be anything from Akiba. Like if Akiba wanted to put an add-on, it would be absolutely free. If you're making themes, you can put it on for free. If you're what's the
so the two that I've created for you are the Bugs and Fun at Home program, and then promoting our virtual user group each week, each month as part of that. So those two will go there, and then the one that's appeared today from Anibal, who's that's a Spanish podcast that he's added an ad for today that doesn't quite look the right shape, which is part of the question I asked you earlier.
Yeah.
And I think he's missing a link at the moment as well.
Yeah. I think there's a learning curve here. So it's just sort of like a dress rehearsal. So these ads, while they won't be once on a fully fledged Stack Exchange site, what will happen is you put the advertisement on the meta page, and it appears on the main site. So it's quite influential once this is fully implemented, because like even Joomla Stack Exchange gets over 1,000 visitors per day. So it will be in the face. Now, even before that happens, I'm still happy for people to put their ads. And this can be a completely selfish thing. It doesn't even, you don't have to feel bad about this. I actually want to get some more Joomla advertising in there just to see what it would look like. But even Charlie Lauder from England, who used to be one of the moderators, he threw an ad onto the page less than 24 hours ago, and it looked rubbish. I just Skyped him to tell him that it looked pretty poor, and he goes, "Yeah, I just whacked it together on Paint," and I go, "Oh yeah, I believe that." But he just wanted to see, what it would look like, what it was all about, and then he read that I was actually looking for legitimate advertisement. So yes, I do. While it's okay to just kick the tires, rocket theme or
more nice page or
but just make it look nice. Like make it a legitimate advertisement. The site awards will be up there eventually. But if anybody wants to, go ahead and check it out. Just scroll up until you see the link that I posted earlier tonight, and enjoy it.
So I'll talk to you more on it later, but it'd be good if you got a JSE article in the JCM to talk about it all.
Yeah.
For the purposes of this conversation, how close is, or how far away are we still from beta to being?
I have been researching that exact topic all this week, and it's a fuzzy thing. Yeah. The official answer is we'll upgrade you when it feels like you should be upgraded. That's like the official fuzzy answer. Like we'll know it when we see it is the official gauge.
There's no metric.
So it's rubbish. There were originally some metrics where you had to have so many users that had this level of rep, so many users that had this level of rep, so many questions per day, so many answers per those questions. And like there were all these metrics, and this is available on Area 51.
Yeah.
But at this rate, Joomla gets about 1 question per day. Joomla Stack Exchange, it's horrible. Yeah. And this week I've been complaining that I'm fighting against two very established monsters. Yeah. The Joomla forum is huge, and it's multilingual, and it's been around since 2005, and it's got like 750,000 posts. It's huge. So when you Google search for something, it's very likely. What's that?
There's a lot of rubbish in there.
Well, and I won't disagree there. But I don't like the format. I'm very biased against it because I don't like to scroll and scroll and scroll until I find the actual part that's going to help me.
Yeah.
Even if Joomla form wasn't there, Stack Overflow has 3 times as many Joomla questions.
Yeah, I saw you asking that today. That how do you move them into?
Yeah.
The Joomla.
There are people that have been with Stack Overflow for a decade.
Yeah.
They are across the network, and they don't even know that Joomla Stack Exchange exists. So there needs to be something put in place to stop people dropping their Joomla questions on Stack Overflow and routing them to where it should be. And so I'm campaigning. I've got a few irons and a few fires, but changing these really ingrained processes is going to be an uphill fight. So it's going to take some effort, but I'm going to fight the good fight. What I've asked for is that if someone tries to post a question on Stack Overflow and they want to use a Joomla tag, is that I want some script to prompt them to say, no, you can't post a Joomla tag here anymore. If you're going to post a Joomla question, it has to be over here.
Yeah.
That would be lovely, and that would start to stem the tide of Stack Overflow receiving all these questions. Otherwise, what I'm doing right now is every time someone posts a question on Stack Overflow, I am manually typing out a comment that says, oh, by the way, did you know there's Joomla Stack Exchange? And I feel like it's just horrible. It doesn't scale well. So I'm going to keep doing it, but it's not an effective use of my time. Hopefully something will come about. Anyhow, I'm going to get in touch with, I think I'm going to try to get in touch with the WordPress moderators and the Drupal moderators, because what I'm suggesting if it's good for Joomla, it should also be good for the other CMSs. So they could probably benefit from more questions coming instead of them being routed to Stack Overflow in the same way. So if someone wanted to put a WordPress tag on, and it is legitimately a WordPress tag question, then it should be over there where it belongs. If someone was like, no, I don't want WordPress experts to be answering my question, then let them post it on Stack Overflow, but then just don't let them put the WordPress tag on it anymore. So anyhow, I've got some thoughts. It's like a flurry of activity going up in here. It's just trying to get it where it needs to go and crossing my fingers and hoping for some progress. So anyhow, I'm doing stuff.
Great.
Right, that's all from me.
All right. I think that's all from me, and we'll see you in a month. Next month we've got Mark de Chevre, who's a custom fields developer from Belgium. So he's going to do a presentation on using custom fields to put things like Google Maps into your Joomla content. So Mick, I assume you'll tune in to see how someone else does what you've been doing this week.
Yes, I will be. I will not miss it.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Patrick. See ya. Night, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
See you all. Thanks a lot.
Presentation. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, everybody, for turning up. Thank you.
No worries. Great. Thanks.
Good night.
All right.